How's it going? Poncho here, and in this video we are comparing an iPhone 14 Pro with a Canon EOS M6. Let's see who wins. First things first, let's go over exactly what I have and how much each thing cost. This is a 128GB iPhone 14 Pro. You can find them right now around $1,000 pretty easily. And on the other end, what you're looking at me right now is a EOS M6, a Canon EOS M6 with a Viltrox 23mm lens and a little tiny mic, just an external mic. Now, the reason why I'm going with the 23mm lens on the camera is an iPhone camera lens. Standard lens is a 24mm lens at 1x, which is the normal, most likely best quality lens. So that's why I try to get them as close as possible. Let's go off a little bit of stats. Both the iPhone 14 Pro and the Canon EOS M6 has 4K 30 frames per second. So in the video portion of this test, I'm going to be using 4K 30 frames per second in both. Camera wise, this has a 48 megapixel sensor, and Canon EOS M6 has a 24.2 megapixel sensor. So if you look at it like that, this should look double the quality as that if you go by pixels, but as we're going to see here, it's not always the case. And that whole camera setup's right at $1,400 is probably what you can get it at right now. So a $1,400 professional camera versus a $1,000 phone. Alrighty, right now I'm testing the audio in the vlog style handheld position for the Canon EOS M6. Now I'm testing the vlog style handheld position for the iPhone 14 Pro. This is the Canon EOS M6 audio while whispering. This is the iPhone 14 Pro audio while whispering. Alrighty, now that was the end of the video portion. In my opinion, after looking over the footage, I think the EOS M6 won with the audio and video by a long shot. I think the stabilization on the iPhone 14 Pro right here was a little bit better than what the EOS M6, but when it came to the actual quality of the picture and the audio, but of course there's an external mic that helps a little, but I think it definitely went to the EOS M6. If you think differently or agree, just let me know down in the comments. Now let's get over to the picture version, and I think this is going to be interesting. Alrighty guys, I found this absolutely beautiful tree here while taking a little walk down a trail, and I was thinking to myself, this would be the perfect spot to get a non-edited picture of this trunk and canopy and see how they look. Looking at this Canon EOS M6 portrait style tree picture without being edited, definitely looks a little flat and could use a lot of help from being edited. But on the other hand, the iPhone 14 Pro picture here without being edited looks really good straight out of camera. It's probably because of the HDR Dolby Vision thing they got going on, but it looks really good. I would definitely say not edited iPhone takes the win. Alrighty, I found this grouping of 3 signs with a white background that's spaced apart. Let's see how the focusing does on each, the camera and the phone. This picture here with the EOS M6, I think it looks very sharp on all corners. I've zoomed in and kind of looked everywhere. I think this is one place this camera over a phone will shine, because you can change the f-stop and where it focuses and stuff like that. But with this iPhone 14 Pro here, it doesn't look terrible. You could definitely use it. It brings the background more into play, and that kind of overshines the actual wording. But with both pictures, you can read. I'm going to give it to the M6 on this. Alrighty guys, got this bridge here, and it's going to take some architecture pictures with the camera and the phone and compare. Starting off here with the Canon EOS M6. It's a beautiful bridge. I think it really shows the details of each individual platform on this bridge. It even shows the bolts in the top right hand corner. It looks really nice. Here on the iPhone 14 Pro, it's actually a little more zoomed in where it's the 24mm, and for some reason I just think it looks a little fake, and it's just a processing that the phone did. I did slight edit both of these, but not much. I really think this is the one big downfall to the HDR Dolby Vision, but it's supposed to help, so I'm going to keep that on while I go through these pictures. But with that being said, the M6 won this as well. Alrighty guys, got this beautiful bridge here. I'll take a couple pictures of this and compare. This right here is so similar to that bridge from earlier. There's just so much detail. I really like the colors. It's very minimal editing, just kind of the Canon color profile at its finest. And here with the iPhone 14 Pro, once again, it's kind of similar to the bridge as well. I think it looks almost a little fake. It's not like fake, but it's like a weird pastel-y. I think it's the HDR that's doing it. It's not too bad, but once again, I'm going to give it to the M6. Alrighty, got these beautiful blue flowers here. Let's see what I can get with both the camera and the phone. I went ahead and did another no edit photo here with both the camera and the phone. I really like the color science that the M6 did here. It's in focus pretty well, and the darker green around looks really nice. The phone here, it's a little brighter. If I darken it down, it'd look a lot better, but that takes a little post-processing, which I'm going to show you here. I think it looks 100 times better darkened like this. That might be my personal opinion. When it's dark like this and you edit the phone, it makes it a lot closer. But even with it, I'm going to give it to the M6. Alrighty guys, we got this bridge down here in the distance. I would never use a 23 or 24mm lens to take this picture normally. This would be a good comparison of like a landscape overall. This one right here really shocked me. I think the Canon EOS M6 looks really good here, but I had to make it quite a bit dark to get everything in focus in the sky, not to look terribly out of place, but I think it looks really good here. I tried to do the same exact amount of editing with the phone picture here, and I kind of like it more. It still has that fake colorful look, which I think is the HDR, but the sky in this one looks 10 times better than in the camera with very little editing. So that tells me that it's just processing in a very good sky on the phone's end. So I'm going to give this one actually to the phone, but they're both really good. This is going to be the end of the video, so let's kind of look over everything we did. We did 10 different tests. We did 4 video tests and 6 camera tests. The Canon M6 won 7 of the 10, but a lot of them was very close. So the conclusion I really have on this video is, if you have an iPhone 14 Pro, if you already have one, you use it every day. You don't need to you're not making money from photography, you're not making money from making videos, you're just doing it for fun, and you have a phone. You don't really have $1,400 to spend on a camera, to be specific. The phone works great. It does everything you need it to do. There isn't anything wrong with the phone. Now, if you want perfection, best possible image, and best possible video, I would go with the Canon M6. I will say, if you're more video inclined, I feel like the M6 does a lot better than what the phone video does. That might just be my opinion. Like, you can go through and look at all these different tests we've done and see what you think is the best. I'd actually like to know down in the comments. Just tell me what one you think was the best overall, and if you think I got most of these right or if I got some of these wrong, just let me know. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this kind of video I did here. I just kind of wanted to compare where I had both the low-end professional camera and a phone to see what was the best. I'll see you on the sunny side.